Hey, wonderful to see you again. It's Judy from Coffee, Cookies, and Books, and what we're going to do today is Dragon Book Tag. You're wondering what that is, right? Well, you're going to have to stick around to find out. Dragon Book Tag. What is Dragon Book Tag? Well, it's a tag that was created by a lady by the name of Elaine at Cobalt Dragon. And then she tagged my friend Kim at an Oasis of Books, and Kim tagged me. So I will leave those two ladies below because I think this is a lot of fun. And at the end, I'll have some fun with some of my friends who are creators, and I'll tag them. So that'll come at the end. So this is just a series of a few prompts. I think there's 7 prompts, and it's just the idea that they kind of relate back to something to do with dragons, and it's basically you can find books or things that you read or things that you do that interest you that fit these specific prompts. So we're going to start with prompt number 1. And prompt number 1's actually probably one of the easier ones for me. Prompt 1 and prompt 2, I think, were the easiest ones for me. And it says, prompt 1 is The Hobbit. It says Smaug, which I don't, not sure who that is, so I never read The Hobbit. Loved gold and shiny things. What book or series you enjoyed features gold, shiny items, or has a shiny cover? So I have 3 books that kind of fit into that category of gold. So the first one is City of Brass, and it's the cover. I thought the cover's stunningly pretty, and I loved that it has this intricate gold lace pattern on the front, which I think is gorgeous. And then it's got the city in gold that goes all the way across to that to the back. And this is by Shannon Chakraborty, and it is the Davabad trilogy. I have all 3 books, and I bought them after I read The Adventures of Amina El-Sarafi and absolutely loved that book. So, and I loved her writing style. I loved the elements of old, like 13th, 14th century Persian history that she did in that book. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. This is, I think, Egyptian, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. What is this? Cairo. Yeah. So, Cairo, Egypt. You know it's going to be good. Yeah. Very much looking forward to it. If I do not read this by the end of this year, then it's going to go on my must-reads for 2026 because I really do want to read the series. So, yeah, that one for sure. Then the next one is the 3rd book, House of Flame and Shadow in the Crescent City series. I read this whole series, and I loved the whole series. And this, as soon as I thought gold, this was the first thing that came to my mind because I thought this cover was beautiful. I don't know that everybody likes these covers, but I think they're stunning. And just the whole thing is gold. So, yeah. That was the first thing that came to mind on this. Now, I don't think any of these books necessarily deal with gold in particular, but it's the gold covers that kind of got it for me. So that's that one. And then the last one was one that I was going through my shelves, and I saw this one, and I thought this was the stunning book. I actually got it off Book Outlet. It has the sprayed edges, and it has gorgeous artwork inside, which I think is absolutely beautiful, and it has all gold foiling on the inside as well. So yeah, I thought this was gorgeous. And so this is what is this? 4 Ruined Realms. First book is 5 Broken Blades. Have not read that yet. Definitely want to read it. Their 3rd book, I think, is already out because there is a 3rd book. I don't know if it's just a trilogy or not, but I think it is. Not 100% sure, but very much looking forward to reading this series. So, okay. I say that a lot, right? Very much looking forward. It's because I am looking forward to reading them. I haven't read them yet, and I have them on my shelf, and I am looking forward to reading them eventually. I have a huge TBR, so whatever comes up, comes up. Okay, so then we come to prompt 2. Prompt 2 is Dancing with Dragons. Dragons and cats go together. Do you have cats? A favorite book or series that features cats? I used to have cats. I also used to have a dog. I have no pets currently, have no plans to have pets anymore. I'm kind of out of my pet era and enjoying no fur in the house. So that's, because for years and years and years, cats in particular, always had cats. But I love cats in my stories, and the best cat in the world is Princess Donut from Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, Princess Donut is a talking Persian cat with a crown. I mean, she's cool. Okay, Princess Donut's cool, and Princess Donut is the reason Carl's still alive. So if you read the first book, Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's because of Princess Donut that he went outside and he didn't die because everybody who was inside the buildings when the aliens first came, everyone perished because the buildings just literally disappeared into the ground and everything that was inside them went with it. Not just buildings, anything that was a structure. So even like, old-fashioned telephone booth, I don't think there's any of those around, but bus stops, cars, and just gone. Gone. Okay. The only thing that remained were vegetation. So Princess Donut was in a tree because she'd gotten out of the house and she got up in a tree and he went out to get her and they were alive because of that. Princess Donut. Okay. So it's a great series. This is the 3rd book and this is getting read in September. So I can't wait to read it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So far, I'm very much enjoying the series. Can't wait to continue on. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about when it comes to cats is I read a lot of cozy mysteries, and cats and dogs always play huge roles in cozy mysteries. The Secret Bookcase, I think, is one by Ellie Alexander, and she has a cat as a pet, and she goes home and talks to the cat all the time. So, the cat plays a fairly key role in that whole series. But one that particularly comes to mind is the cat that's in a book called Home is Where the Body Is by Jody Holford. I read that just maybe a couple of months ago. And Annie, who's the main character, she is house sitting her parents' house for a year. So she arrives in this small town where they've basically bought this house. When she gets there, like her parents aren't there, they've gone off to gallivant for a year in their retirement. But when she gets there, she opens the garage and this cat has basically snuck in and decided it's going to stay in the garage. And her and the cat don't like each other. I mean, there's like a standoff at a certain point. It's quite funny and enjoyable to read. But I just really enjoyed that. And the cat plays kind of a key role in between that and her meeting the guy who's a veterinarian. Just happens to be a veterinarian, and the cat happens to like the guy, but the cat's pregnant, and so the cat's decided that she's going to have the kittens in her garage. So there's that. But the cat belonged to the neighbor, and the neighbor is not a nice person, but the cat doesn't want to go home. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And it just sticks in my head because I liked the cat in the story, and I liked how the cat kind of played a role, particularly at the end. I won't say anymore, but anyway, so that was that one. So for our next 2 prompts, I had to go and grab what I needed for this. Now, the third prompt is called Dragonology. What crafts or hobbies do you enjoy? Do you have books about crafts and hobbies? So I don't have any books on crafts or anything like that. My hobby, I love to bake. Okay, so I do bake a lot in my spare time, but the one thing I love to collect is cookbooks. And I actually did a cookbook video, and I'll link that below. I think I did it back in February, and I went through all of my baking books, my cooking books, everything like that. But I wanted to share again because I very much love this, the chef author of these cookbooks. They are rock recipes by Barry Parsons. And one of the reasons I love him so much is because he is Canadian, fellow Canadian, and he's from Newfoundland. And his cookbook, I love his cookbooks. There are so many amazing recipes in these books, baking and cooking. And I have followed all of them in these cookbooks. So like one of the recipes that is a cooking recipe, I don't know if it's in, you can tell all the tabs, okay? But I do have a couple of things that are marked. So this is one, it's a lobster and grilled corn chowder, okay? Which I have made this corn chowder multiple different ways. Now, I've done it with crab. I do like crab meat, so I've done it with crab. I have also done it with chicken, and it's just as good with chicken. Now, I do like to do where I pre-season chicken a little bit, so I will do that. But it is so, so good. Like so good. So that's like one of the things. The other thing, which I don't know if it's in here or not, it's one of the desserts. It's called, no, it's not in here. Must be in this one, maybe. It's called lemon icebox pie. There it is, right there. So old-fashioned lemon icebox pie. And I can't tell you how many times I've made this, okay? It is a huge success, and it's served cold out of the freezer, and the inside tastes like lemon sherbet ice cream. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you don't like lemon, you're not going to like it, but yeah. And so there's like a Christmas one, and he has a cookies one, which that's new, and I don't even know if I've even looked through that one yet, but it's the cookies one, and then it's the two main recipes one, which I follow, and yeah, love his recipes. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that because that is something that I thoroughly enjoy very much, and I can't say enough about it. And again, I did that video. I probably had 20 some odd books that I featured there because I do have a huge collection of cookbooks and baking books. So, and I went over all of those. Okay, so the next one is Dragon Art. Do you have a favorite artist, book featuring artists? Answers can be any type of art, musicians, authors, painters. So, one thing I don't talk about a lot is I come from a background of photography. I started my photography business in 1999, and I started as a wedding photographer, and I did weddings, and then I went into portraits, boudoirs, I shot nudes. I did a lot, and now I am now a photo retoucher, and that's what I do for a living. And so my world has centered around photography for a very long time, but there are certain photographers that have followed and that mean a lot to me. So what I wanted to share a few things that I have that were those photographers. So yeah, I did, tongue-tied a little bit. It is just something that means a lot to me, very much a lot to me. It's super important to me. I can't say enough about it. The one book, I'm going to have to kind of blur the front cover. So we're going to give it, I'm going to, like, there's going to be some splicing in there because when I show it up, you'll know when you see it why. I can't even show you the inside of the book, but I do want to show it because it's like a very important piece that I have collected, and it's super, means quite a bit. So the first one is, this is it's called The Wedding Box, and it is created by a photographer. His name is Joe Busink, and he is actually based in LA. He has photographed a lot of celebrity weddings. And way back when I started in 1999, I loved this man. I thought, like, phenomenal photographer. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times. And so I always support him and his work. I mean, he is older than me, so I'm sure he's long since retired, because I've also retired from photography, shooting 16-hour weddings at 64. Not going to happen anymore, but I wanted to share this. So when you open this up, this is actually something that was kind of created for I think an idea for weddings. There's just like little information cards inside, and I thought that those were really nice note cards. Okay, and then there is a book of his art inside. So it's just a small book, but it features many of his photographs, and I just wanted to share a couple of these. Like, I think that they're beautiful, and I love this book very much. Okay, and I love his work. I don't know if any of his famous brides are in here. This is stunning. Gorgeous. I mean, his photography was just like prime work. And as somebody who started out, I did not start out as a photographer working on medium format. I kind of came from, I shot with 35 millimeter cameras. I had multiple cameras. This was before digital, of course. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else in here. There's a stunning photo. And so that was how he shot. Okay. It was more of photojournalism style, and that's how I wanted my work to be. So that's why when this came out, I wanted to purchase it, and I've had this for a very long time, and it certainly means a lot to me because his work means a lot to me. So that's one. Now, the other one that was really important to me, one of the people that I followed is Anna Leibovitz, and this book was given to me by my mother. It was a gift from her, and my mother is no longer alive. She's passed away. And of course, I've kept this for multiple reasons, but there are like so many photographs in here. Okay. There's photographs of her working with Rolling Stone magazine. There's photographs of her work with Vanity Fair, which, I loved her work with Vanity Fair so much. Is this a queen? Yes, Queen Elizabeth, who's unfortunately no longer with us, and her portrait of Queen Elizabeth, which I thought was amazing. Another portrait of Queen Elizabeth. I think her work is exceptional. I know she worked, eventually she was working with a very large team, and as someone who shot weddings, and I had assistants and I had second shooters, your team is you. They make you, and they're just as important as I was. So, and I know her team was also, they were very good. So that's that one. Now, this one, we're going to have a bit of a blip because I'm going to have to, this is a big, big book, okay? And we're going to turn it around, okay? And we're going to I'm not going to move it so that we can have the one blurred out spot. So this is Angels by Russell James. And this is a book of his special photographs of all of the women who have been Victoria's Secret Angels. And I think there's like a whole list of them, all the different models on the back that participated in this book. I wish I could show the photos of this. I can't because, for obvious reasons, it's just stunning work in this book. How I got this was I received a very lovely gift from one of my retouching clients. It was a huge Amazon gift card. I got this on Amazon, and I didn't think I was ever going to be able to afford it because this is a very expensive book, but I had the gift card. So I consider it a gift from her, essentially, because I wouldn't have been able to get it otherwise. And I've had this for quite a number of years now, and it is displayed in my living room along with my own art. And yeah, so super important to me. And everything that I do that is photography related always kind of goes back to this work. I have not shot a wedding in a very, well, 2-3 years. I went, didn't shoot a wedding on my own, but I went out and I second shot with a friend of mine who needed a favor. 2 or 3 weddings in a summer, did that. But next year, my best friend's son is getting married, and they've asked me, and I'm honored to be able to do that and to know that I can. And I can go out there and I can photograph that for them. So it gives me a little taste of what I used to do. All right, enough of that. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is number 5, How to Live with Dragons. Do you cover by, and what are your favorite colors? What book or series did you enjoy that features dragons? So I actually rarely cover by. I don't care about the color of a cover. I mean, I know that's kind of silly. Like, we looked at the gold covers, and I mean, they're beautiful and they look really great and everything like that. But I don't really buy covers because they look pretty. I buy the book because I want to read the book. So, that's really kind of it for me. But I did want to talk about, so it asks, what book or series did you read that had dragons, featured dragons? I think I read almost the whole entire Dragons of Pern series by Anne McCaffrey. I read that years and years and years and years ago. It stuck with me all the time because that to me is the first dragon series in my head. And I've always thought that was kind of like the series that a lot of series are fashioned after. And, but I don't recall it as well as I would like to say I could, because it was such a long time ago that I actually read that series. But I do have another series, a current series that I have read, and that is the Bound and the Broken. Okay, so this is the prequel novella called The Fall, and this is the first book is of Blood and Fire, and this is by Ryan Cahill, and it's a fantastic series, but it centers around dragons. In this book, the entire culture is driven by dragon riders, and there is a war at the beginning of this one, and a lot of the dragon riders and their either the dragons are killed or the riders are killed. Like a dragon rider cannot survive without their dragon. Very difficult to survive without their dragon. So that's what happens in the first book. And then when you get to this book is about a young man, and he becomes the person to perhaps bring back the dragon-bound society. So I don't want to say too much about this one, but it was just so good. And it is an epic fantasy. Okay. As of right now, I think there's four main books. There are a bunch of novellas. Now, you can read the novellas on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if the books might be on Kindle Unlimited, but they are quite long, and I do kind of personally prefer to read them in print when they're that long, especially when it's epic fantasy. But I've read three of the novellas. I think there's four or five, and I think I've read three of them. So, and I enjoy the novellas on Kindle Unlimited because they're quick and fast. But this packed a punch, and then this just kind of, if you don't read this first, you're going to be a bit lost at the beginning of this, okay? Because it makes reference to a society right at the very beginning that you kind of have to read this. So I do suggest you read this first and then read this. And it is an amazing dragon society. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so next one is prompt 6 is Star Magic. Do you have a favorite constellation, a favorite astronomy book? No. I don't follow the constellations. I don't follow horoscopes. I don't even think about that. But what I thought would be really cool is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eru. It just, when you look at this cover, you think constellation. I mean, that is, yeah, like I loved that. Okay. I thought that was it really kind of embodied the whole idea of when you think of a constellation, lover's dream, it like this cover sort of really speaks to that. So that's what spoke to me. I don't really have a lot of other things that really do kind of fit with that. Now, I do have my own book, which is also kind of it because it is a sci-fi space opera romance, and I wanted the cover to embody the idea of being out in space. So there's stars. Obviously, it has gold, so it could have kind of fit into the gold category, but I thought I'd save it for this because I think that when you think about star magic and when you think about a book of this nature, then this kind of fits in, and it is a bit romantic. And I think that's what I think when I think star magic. I think of a tiny bit of romance. I think this one is might even be a romantasy, Heavenly Bodies. I'm not 100% sure because I don't remember the synopsis on that one. But yeah, so when I think of my own book, that's kind of, it embodies that. So yeah. Next one, Chinese horoscope. Book about astrology or astronomy, book or series that features the movement of stars and planets. So I had to bring in the Expanse series by James S. A. Corey because if anything I've read embodies the idea of stars and planets and the movements of stars and planets, it is this book because you have Earth, you have Mars, you have all of the planets in between, and then you have the asteroid belts, which people actually live and work on the asteroid belts. So everything is deep space. And then in the first book, there's a proto-molecule, and that alters space. And that is what I love about this series. I have read up to book 3 and absolutely enjoyed it every book so far. I mean, the slowest of them was probably the first book, and that's because there's a ton of world building that goes into it, but there's still a lot of that happens in the other books, but it happens a bit more naturally with the plot and the story. But it all comes back to what happened initially in this book. So I can't recommend Leviathan Wakes, The Expanse enough, and start with this one and go on to book 2. a lot of people have said book 2 is like fantastic, and I agree, book 2 is fantastic. So if I had to rate them, I'd say book 2 was first, then book 3, then book 1. So that's kind of the order they went in for me. But I liked all of them. So, I mean, and given all of them 5 stars. It's just, you know, I do have my favorites. And I would say book 2 is like a 6 star. Okay? So, all right. So that's actually it for the prompts. The last prompt is to tag others. And I don't have a lot of people that I can tag. I've got maybe 2 or 3 that I'm thinking about. So I will tag them below and see if they're interested in doing this. I mean, to me, it was a lot of fun, and it allows me to kind of talk about the books that I love or the books that I have on my TBR that I haven't necessarily read yet, and just share them all with you. So hopefully you found this fun. It's just a little something to kind of throw in with all these videos that we make. I wanted something different, and I thought this book tag was perfect for that. So that's it for today, and hopefully you'll stick around. I think my next video is going to be my September's TBR video, which is going to have the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook on it. Yeah, so it's going to be a good TBR in September, and can't wait to share it with you. We'll see you in the next video.